blah, blah.
We'll play the whole joint.
Like, talking all that blah, blah, blah. You about to blow my high, don't kill my vibe. I'm just a stand-up guy. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Two fingers up and I'm going with the wind.
What is good, y'all? This is your boy Easy, the host of the Full Blitz podcast. With me, as always, Louis, the digital doctor. And then for the first time ever, we have a guest host with us, your boy Tony Ford. What's going on, man?
What's up? You already know, man. It's your boy Tony Ford, a.k.a. Ghost Money, the $1 Million Scarecrow. Had to come check in on the Full Blitz. Third game, baby.
Hey, man, we appreciate you coming in, checking in, spending the show with us. So all of y'all know, okay, the three of us got together through a job that we all worked in Charlotte. It fell into place, and then it was in place. It just never stopped. And in one way or another, we've all done different things in life where we've used one another, whether it been, Tony Ford, he's also a tattoo artist. His music is off the chain. Y'all will catch some of his music throughout the show today. And then y'all will have a spot at the end that'll show you where you can get his music. And then Louis, y'all see what he does. I mean, he makes fat white dudes look fire on the internet. So, I mean,
the digital doctor.
Doctor.
How y'all doing? First off.
Yeah, that's
great,
easy.
Man.
Started calling me the digital doctor. I was like, I like that. That's a vibe.
For sure.
That's a vibe.
Hey, man, you gotta figure it out.
I know we
But
go
I'm
way
good,
back.
man.
Way
How you
back,
doing,
way
Tony?
back. I'm doing good, man. Good to see y'all, fellas. Everybody done spread out across the nation. I'm still here in Charlotte, but it's good to see y'all, fellas.
Man, it'd be better if I ain't had to see all that damn Eagles green nonsense.
Hey, see, I told you I just had to put. It's a little cold in the house, and I had to put my pajamas on, so I could sleep well tonight. Just a little sleepwear. I gotta see all of
Sleepwear.
this.
I ain't never.
I gotta see all of this two-tone blue in the background.
All of it, baby. All of it.
Yeah, it's all good though.
We got a good show tonight for y'all. We're gonna get into the college championship. I know it happened about a week ago. It was weird. The game playing on Monday. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into the AFC and NFC championship games. We're gonna get into our picks, who we think is gonna win the Super Bowl, and then of course, we're gonna take a look at the draft. Probably gonna look at the top 10. We're gonna take a look at the Titans, what they're gonna do at number 1. And then we haven't really had a chance to touch on it because football's been all over the place. But we're going to look into the basketball and the NBA season, see what's going on, and go from there. But we're going to start with the national championship game. When you were looking at it, right, did you go in and say Ohio State was going to manhandle Notre Dame, or did you think, Notre Dame was going to be able to?
I kind of feel like Notre Dame would put up a little fight. They are the Fighting Irish. They've always been known to have a pretty decent team, but Ohio State is Ohio State. That they and by them being a division team. Go ahead.
And I give it to Notre Dame. They came back. Ohio State really kind of ran up on them early. Kind of punched them in the mouth a little bit, going up 21-7 and, going into the half. And, Notre Dame came out swinging. I'll give it to them. Notre Dame came out swinging in that third quarter.
That might have played a little bit into them. That might have played into them already being up a little bit and kind of trying to rest some people too. And then saying, we got to put our people back in and make sure we win this game. But, college football.
National championship game.
Yeah.
So, but for those of y'all that don't know, Ohio State did wind up taking care of business, 34-23. We look at an Ohio State team that is going to be losing a lot of key components. They're going to lose Jack Sawyer. They're going to lose Howard, their quarterback. I do not know how to pronounce old boy's name, number 44, the defensive end. Y'all already know me and names. All three of those guys are going to be going to the draft. Bruh. You should see this not. When I mispronounce somebody's name, they come at me, man. It is ridiculous.
I could believe it. But I'm
It's,
the
it's,
same way. They
it's
lucky if I even remember their name. Like, hey, you're whatever number your jersey says. That's who you are. Unless you play for my team, you're whatever jersey your jersey number. That's what you are.
but you know something,
Number
that's how
11.
it's been, forever. Even when I played ball, you didn't remember nobody's name. You just, hey, that's 10, that's 53, that's
Hey,
65.
2-3, 2-5. You
So
know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying? Stuff like that. Hey, I got a homeboy. We still call him 2-5 to this day because that's what he wore number 25 when we played in Pee Wee football. And I don't know his name to save my life now. I know his name is 2-5.
hey, look, that's the dude to chill with. Hey, who's that over there, man? That's 2-5 over there. I don't know.
Yeah, 2-5.
But we're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on that national championship game. What I want to jump into right off the bat is the two games that we had today, the AFC and the NFC
Yes,
championship game.
sir.
I guess I guess we'll talk about the NFC game first. Your beloved
I mean, they
Eagles
played
versus the
first. They
Washington
played
Commanders.
first. They played first. So
So
it's only right. We're
I
going to go to the
need
first game.
I need your reaction as a fan. Your team is in the Super Bowl with a run game that looks like it cannot be stopped. I mean, it looks like
Right.
he runs for 30 yards at will.
Saquon's whole
So,
goal this year is to make New York eat letting him go. They've had to eat it straight up. Like I know
you
they've
know
been
what I love
sick the
is
entire season.
before every playoff game, they have played the clip from the Hard Knocks offseason with the Giants where the Giants GM is recorded saying, is anybody else really going to pay him that much money? Well, yeah,
And when he
they
says,
are.
"I hate to see him end up in Philadelphia," exactly what he said. I hate to see him in Philadelphia.
I will
Third game,
say,
baby.
Landon, one of the Landon's y'all right guard. They had said that he had a quote throughout the week leading up to the game that Saquon this year he's finally unbottled. He'd been bottled up for so long in New York,
Right.
and he comes to Philadelphia. Philadelphia, in my opinion's got the best offensive line in football. I don't even think it's close. Do you how do you, as a fan, what was it like watching that dude just run for over 2,000 yards and then continues that success into the postseason?
Man, it's really amazing because that's really where we needed a good run game. Last year we had, oh gosh, I know we had Gainwell, Boston Scott last year, but who else was it?
It was a running back by committee. I think y'all had three or
we
four
we
different
had
guys.
we had Swift, I'm trying to think of who our main running back was now. Oh, okay,
I mean, wasn't it
Saquon Bark,
what
we had Mike Swift.
I
Um,
think that's who it was. I think it was
no,
Swift
Swift.
and
We picked up Swift from the Lions, but we had a running back before that, and I'm like drawing a blank right now. See how I said names. Um, I, I, gosh, it wasn't McCoy. Who the heck did we have last year?
it wasn't Jamal
Blank
Lewis,
moment.
was it?
No, blank
Well, it
moment.
happens.
Um,
Either way,
it's
ain't
the
got to worry
time.
about it. You
It's the
got down
timeline.
Saquon Barkley now.
The timeline switches altered
That's
my memory. So anyway, yeah, having Saquon Barkley on the team now has just been such a delight. And Eagles were like a pass heavy team, especially with us having AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. But the whole dynamic of the offense has changed to straight run, ground and pound football again. And
which is crazy because Kellen Moore, the
yeah,
offensive coordinator, is not a is he's a throwing, he's a
exactly.
quarterback by trait. So it's crazy.
So just
I
adding
I I,
Saquon to the
I
mix,
like it.
it's like he was times 10 what we had last year, and he kind of like Marshawn Lynch beast mode status. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
he's added what
I
Jerome Bettis added to the Steelers. Like he's come to the Eagles. He's
yeah.
made a name for himself. He already had a name when he was at the Nats, when he was with the Nats. But just
The
coming over there
Nats.
and being able to fly as an Eagle, he's really been unleashed. It's like, he's tapped into a sixth sense with it. And we saw that on the field, with that reverse hurdle. Who else? You've never seen that done in football, man. That man had a sixth sense. Yeah, crazy play. We
And I
still talking
wanna
about it that many weeks later.
and I wanna argue, right? I wanna argue, but I can't. And I think what's understated about what Saquon brought to Philly is last year that players, the defense, the rushers, the nose tackles, linebackers, they were able to pin their ears back on second and third down against Philly last year because there was no threat of a run on second and third. When you had a play that you knew you had to throw the ball, they could come after Hurts. This year you can't because even if they don't give the ball to Saquon, he's such a threat out of the backfield in the screen game and in the check down game that he's added a whole other dimension to their passing game. And you've
That
seen
and
it.
tonight,
And then you
tonight
saw
he's even
tonight.
proved another thing. Yeah, tonight he's proved another thing. He's proved that he will block you too. He will step up and make the block.
Oh
To give
yeah.
Jalen Hurts that
Oh,
little
he
bit of
picked
time
up.
to be able to get those passes.
There were
So
there
yeah,
were a
he's an
couple
all
where
around threat.
you know
He wants to win, man.
yeah. I saw a couple plays where Bobby Wagner and then Luva
Yeah.
were just with their hair on fire coming through the line of scrimmage, and Barkley steps up, takes the block. I
Oh,
mean, I think I think Barkley is really gonna find his own here, with Philly.
and he
I
doesn't
will
have.
say
He's
with the
not coming
game
in with
though,
ego.
and he never did. There are constant reports. There were reports that came out when he was in college, and then even when he was in New York, about how he is just the nicest, most humble human being. And there was a waitress. A report came out not too long ago about when he was in Penn State that he would go into this like bar and sit all the way in the back, and he wouldn't want anybody to know he was there. He wouldn't drink. He was just there. And she always said he tipped well over. Like that's the character that you want in your locker room. That kind of character is infectious. And when all of your guys start getting there, and look at it. You got AJ Brown, who had all the trouble in the world at the end of last year, the beginning of
Right.
this year. Now he's reading these inspirational books on the sideline. He seems like he's much more of a team player. The first two games in the postseason, you didn't see a whole lot of AJ Brown, and then he jumps onto the scene tonight, and he's just happy to be there. So, I think Saquon affected this team in a lot more ways than just on the field. And
Yeah.
so I think that's probably one of the better pickups in free agency in the last probably couple years for a team.
It's definitely boosted the morale of the team, and like you said, last year, we weren't so much dependent on the run. The main run we depended on last year was the tush push. You know, that's the one that was the one thing everybody was worried about last year with the Eagles. Like tush push this, tush push that. Which even with that, I have to say, I saw it tonight a little bit with center troubles. Jurgens was out at first with lower back injury, whatever, and then um, Dickerson, had to play for
Dickerson goes
him.
out with a
But
knee injury.
yeah, then exactly. But I've noticed this year that, especially in the beginning of the season, Jalen, it was a little miscommunication with snaps like all season. I don't know if it's the height difference in them. I know I used to play quarterback, so sometimes being up under a lower center, you got to squat a little lower, get your hands up under him a little bit more. And I know that by Kelsey leaving and, him not being there anymore, that affected that tush push that much more. It's affected the snap and just him being that leader on that O line.
That for me that's the big difference. Is the fact that last year Jason Kelsey made a lot of the calls. He changed a lot of the stuff on the line, something that your quarterback typically does. Jason Kelsey did a lot of that. I think it got a lot better as the year went on. You got to, as a former center, you have to learn how to play with the center that you're with. Kelsey had, and he, says it, that quarterbacks hated him because he has such a hard snap. And it takes a while to get used to that. When that ball is popping you in the hand like that, it takes a minute to get used to. But look, Philly played a fantastic game. You put up 55 points in an NFC championship game. I mean, that's phenomenal. But I don't want to go without saying I feel so bad for Jaden Daniels. His team let him down. That rookie
They did.
quarterback showed up and played. He made smart decisions. He had the pick late, right? But that was desperation, trying to get points back. I think they were down like 24 at the time when he threw the interception. His guys with penalties early in the games, turnovers. I mean, that's just too much to overcome when you're playing a team like Philly. But I think a lot of people said, and a lot of people were under this idea that Philly was going to make Jaden Daniels play a bad game. Well, Philly fans, including my guy Tony Ford, 29 for 48, 255 yards, a touchdown, QBR of 83.2. He did take the one interception, and he got sacked 3 times. For a rookie quarterback in an NFC championship game, that dude played lights out.
Nah, big ups to Jason Daniels, man. Like, for real, for real. For one, for us to even be mentioning the Commanders in the NFC Championship, that team has turned around completely. And for him to be a rookie, taking it as far as he did, um, you know, I got to give him a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing. But I will say that, when he looks up to an Eagles quarterback, then that happens because we all know that Jada Dames was a big McNabb fan. You know what I'm saying? And he even had his Eagles jerseys on back in the day, so I think he might have wanted us to win a little bit too. I don't know, but nah, for real though, they definitely played their hearts out. They played their hearts out, man. I think after the score kind of got up a little bit too much, they all were just emotionally out of it, just kind of drained. But yeah, his team did let him down. But I could see them, next season doing a little bit more. And if Washington doesn't work out for him, I could see him getting getting taken or switched around somewhere. But they might want to keep him if they know it's good for them.
Honestly, I think Washington is going to be a great spot for him. Washington has some really young talent with Robinson. Eckler's not young, but he's still very serviceable, very good. You got Scary Terry, Terry McLaurin, really good. Zach Ertz, he's an aging tight end, but he's still got
Eagle
guys around him. Yeah, former Eagle. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And that defense has got some pieces. You got Lattimore, who's got to get more discipline. He had that issue when he was in New Orleans. He gets so fired up that he gets these penalties. And even though I thought that late hit was iffy, I thought he hit him at the same time as the left foot went out of bounds. But that's, neither here nor there.
It was a few calls in the game that I'll say, on both ends, that it was like, you could have let that slide, or man, y'all should have called that one, And
yeah, now I will say for both games, from what we had last year in the playoffs, I was very happy with the officiating in both games. Neither game was affected by bad calls.
If anything, I would say that the Chiefs Buffalo game, it might have been a call or two that it could have affected how the turnout of that.
I mean, the only after watching the game, I think the only one that comes to mind was the face mask on number 5. I don't know him. He came in when Bernard's got hurt, but they called face mask on him, but he had his hand on the dude's visor. That's not a part of the rule.
Right.
So
and
that
it was
one
quick,
to me
too.
it was real quick. And
like
then the other call for me,
him.
I thought Josh Allen got that first down on, that 4th and inches or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought he got it. When you looked at I see. So
it was close, but no cigar.
It wasn't enough. Yeah. It wasn't enough to be like, oh, here we go again. The scripting of the NFL.
Right.
So, but look, much respect and much, kudos to the Philadelphia Eagles for making a Super Bowl. They got some guys on their team that I would really like to see get a ring. Former Titan with AJ Brown, I would love to see him get a ring. That offensive line, Mulata, Dickerson, Landon,
Yes.
Jurgens, they played lights out all season. Uh, I'd love to see somebody like Brandon Ingram, even though he's injured. He's been around a long time, getting that dude a Super Bowl ring or another Super Bowl. No, a Super Bowl ring. No, he was with him when Nick Foles won,
I
right?
believe so. I believe
Yeah, I
so.
think Brandon Ingram was. But,
That was that was
he's probably on his way out. So, Darius Slay has had a great, career. I'd like to see him get a
yes.
ring. And anybody that can beat, Patrick Mahomes, I'm all for. Um, you know, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs
Yeah.
have become this generation's Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Right.
So
And that's the
we'll
thing.
see.
Like going back to the Eagles, man. For what number one defense in the NFL. I will say that front four is a beast, man. You got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis down there going hard every play. But the person that really like stepped up for me on the defense was Zach Bond. He's been playing
Absolutely. I
phenomenal
mean,
the last past few
defensive
games.
player of the year, defensive
Exactly.
player of the year nominee. I'm 100%. He caused the fumble. He had that
Ex-
Peanut Tillman punch
he
out. I,
he been punching them out. And another person that I will say, he stepped up last year, and a lot of people was like, "Who is he?" And then you just start hearing his name more and more and more, and he's proved to be a pretty good asset to that defense. Is Kenny Blankenship? Blankenship has been out
you
there.
know something?
Every time you look, he's right there wherever the ball is. If he didn't make the tackle, he's coming in right behind him.
I've said this for the last 2 years, right? Blankenship is probably to me one of the most underrated secondary
Yeah,
players in the league. Now, I know early in, his first year he gave up a lot of big plays, but he learned from that. And then you add in Cooper DeJean and Quayon Mitchell.
him too.
To me, two of the best. I mean, Quayon Mitchell is my defensive rookie of the year. I know Jared Verse from the Rams is probably going to get it, and I mean, rightfully so. I think the dude had like the 13 sacks or some. I mean, he had a phenomenal season. But
Right.
Quayon Mitchell is, I mean, one of the best young cornerbacks in the league. And then Cooper DeJean, when did white boys start being DBs again? Like
Hey,
when did
he
he
stepped up.
reminds me of John Lynch.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just
He's all over the field
he's
too.
played lights out.
He's had a couple good
I mean
knockdowns.
that
I
front
like to see.
office, that Philly front office has done a phenomenal job with bringing in Saquon Barkley, the draft that they had this year. I mean, even last year with Carter, I mean they have drafted phenomenally, and they're going to need it because they're going to play Kansas City, the winner of the
Rematch,
AFC
baby.
Championship game, and it is a
Rematch.
rematch. So watching that game, it I don't know, man. It almost felt like Buffalo just was in their way with play calling. I didn't quite understand some of the play calling early in the game. It was
Yeah.
weird to me that you didn't have Josh Allen, run a little more early in the game. He only had 11 carries for 39 yards to begin with. He did go 22 of 34 for 237 for 2 touchdowns. So it's not like Josh Allen had a bad game. This again was another classic game between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen with the Chiefs and the Bills, easily becoming the Colts and the Patriots of this generation, the
Right.
Manning versus
The Manning
Brady of
versus
this
Brady.
generation.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
I
I
can
mean,
see it, man.
100%.
Yeah. Josh Allen,
Um,
man. I said it before, man. He's hell of a quarterback. Very disciplined. His precision, man. The way he's able to just thread needles sometimes is amazing. But then it's also he's not scared to run, and when he runs, he's not scared. You hardly see him slide. Like he's taking the hits. He's taking the hits,
I don't
trying to
think he
get. He's
knows how to
leaning forward,
slide.
trying to get the extra yard. I don't either, because he's shoulder forward. I'm taking the extra yard. You know what I'm saying? And he has the size for it. So You know,
Like it's when
I
your
see why he
coaches
doesn't.
say we really wish he would slide.
Yeah,
Like
I'm scared he's gonna hurt somebody,
I yeah,
put
you
them in
know, and
concussion
Josh
protocol.
Allen for and he reminds me a lot of Dante Culpepper. The way Dante Culpepper
Yeah,
used to run with just reckless abandonment.
right.
That's who Josh reminds me of. And I feel bad for Josh because even that last play or the last offensive play, that fourth down, he's running, he's backpedaling, he throws the ball up, and I hate to say this because I don't know the pressure or anything, but Kincaid should have caught that ball. It hit him in the hands. That
It
would have given him a first
it
down,
was
and
there.
it would have put him in field goal range.
What the
Eh,
coaches always say, man, you touch the ball, you should catch it.
You catch the ball, you know.
You touch it, you
So
catch it.
where, I, for me, where does Buffalo go from here? Right? We've seen Buffalo with a stud, true number one receiver with Stephon Diggs, and Allen didn't look comfortable. He looked like he was constantly forcing the ball. He looked like he just was having a hard time spreading it around. And then this year, he spreads it around. But where do you go? Do you try to do you just run it back with the group you have?
I think
Where do
so.
you go?
I mean, it's not like they had a terrible year. They've already beat Kansas City once this year, so we know they can beat them. It's just a matter of playoffs is a totally different team. For one, that Kansas City that they played tonight was not the same Kansas City that they played earlier in the season a couple of weeks ago,
Not at
well,
all.
months ago,
Not at all.
months ago. But like Buffalo came to play today. They played very aggressive. They came to win. Is I don't know. It was in the cards. I called it a long time ago. I said Eagles Chiefs rematch. I called it Eagles Chiefs
I
rematch.
you
That's
know
I wanted them. Like, bring it back. Come here. We got to get you.
and I agree with you. I think that Kansas City was just the better team tonight. Buffalo can beat them. They've done it. It's just for whatever reason, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, you get those guys in the playoffs, and they're a different team. And it doesn't hurt when you got a guy coming back to the team, Kareem Hunt. He gives you 17 carries for 64
Yes.
yards, a touchdown. Xavier Worthy, I got to talk about him for a second.
Right. Yeah. I was
And
going.
and
Yeah.
what's so funny about this is
Go ahead and say
Buffalo
it.
traded the pick to
Traded. Yes.
Kansas City. That
Exactly.
Kansas
And it.
City then picked Xavier Worthy with. Like, what do you? Don't get me wrong. Buffalo went on and drafted Keenan Coleman. Coleman had a very good rookie year, but I mean, I get it. Buffalo, if you look at what Josh Allen wants a big, tall receiver. That's why he throws to his tight ends a lot. That's why Kincaid is so good. But Xavier Worthy, and it's not just his speed. Everybody wants to focus on the draft combine 40-yard dash. I get it. Fastest speed in NFL history. I get it. But it's his route running. It's his ability
Mhm.
to understand situational football. He doesn't try to use his speed when he wants to get more yards, when he should get out of bounds. He gets out of bounds. And
Right.
watching him grow throughout the season, you saw the improvement every week, and you saw how he became more involved with the offense. And now you get a team that traded away Tyreek Hill a couple years ago, and now here you are. You have Tyreek Hill 2.0. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
Buffalo, what are you
I
doing?
was definitely gonna say something about that because the Chiefs actually got him off of a trade with the Bills, and it hurts when you give up the weapon that actually that's like handing somebody the gun to shoot you. You know.
Exactly. Because I mean, Worthy wound up. He gave you 2 carries, which they love him on that jet sweep, right? They love getting
Yeah.
him around in the jet sweep, getting him in space. So he goes 2 carries for 16 yards, but then he goes 6 catches for 85 yards and a touchdown. I mean, the kid is just lights out. And from all reports, from coaches, fans that have met him, he's humble, he's nice, he's dedicated. He's smart. Not to throw shade on any of these younger guys that have gotten in trouble or anything like that, but he's not out doing the things that he shouldn't be doing.
Right.
And I mean, just he's a phenomenal player. I just it's I can't believe they traded away the ability to be able to pick him.
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. That one they lost
Yeah.
on
So,
purpose.
so we're looking at a Philly Kansas City rematch Super Bowl. Okay.
Back at it.
We're not going to give our picks yet. All right, we're going to give our picks a little later in the game in the show. Make sure y'all are checking it out. If y'all haven't already, head to the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check us out on Instagram, on TikTok. Hit that follow button. Make sure to leave a comment, share. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. We getting
Hit
it
that
going.
notification bell too, so you know when the next episode is out.
There it is. So we know who you're picking,
You
right?
sure?
So why don't you just? I'm pretty sure, right? So go ahead and tell us what you think Philly can do to win the game.
Okay, for one, I said this in the beginning of the season, from last season when Philly got knocked out in the playoffs. I said they're coming back with the vengeance. We're going Super Bowl. I feel like Philly has they played mind games with everybody all year. They played reserved. They played, a little under. They've never given 100% in any game. To me, I don't think they've given 100% in any game. And it's, we'll save some runs. We'll save a few plays. We can't show all our weaponry just to get to this point here to where you can open Pandora's box, and the Chiefs not gonna know what hit them. Um, Sirianni back up against Andy Reid again. It's making him. He's got to face his old team. He's beat them before. Since Andy Reid didn't get that Super Bowl with the Eagles, then Sirianni comes in and gets one. Andy Reid goes to get two with the Chiefs. No, how many does he have with the Chiefs
Three,
now?
no, four,
Three. Yeah,
four.
yeah.
He's got four with the Chiefs.
Okay, four with the
He's got
Chiefs. Yeah,
four.
it's just two back to back so far. But yeah, I think my boys are gonna hold it down. Like you said, Saquon Barkley has been phenomenal this season. I don't really see them stopping him. There is no stop. You may contain him a little bit, but then you have to worry about the outside threat between Smith, AJ Brown, and let's not forget Dallas Goedert. He's stepped up, came through in the clutch plenty of times, playing that tight end position. Kind of reminds me of Zach Ertz, how Ertz used to play for us. So then Jalen Hurts.
That's a
I
fair.
mean, you still got to
That's a
worry
fair
about the threat of
comparison.
Jalen Hurts.
So real quick, y'all, it's 3 Super Bowls. I apologize. I'm making sure to fact check myself in real
That's right.
time, so y'all don't sit here and talk about he don't know what he talking about. Yeah. Shut up. Those 3 Super Bowls. So I think some of the points you make with Philly are really good. I think with Philly though, their Pandora box was open week 5. Right? When they came out and they said, this is what we're going to do, right? We're going to run the ball. This is what we're going to do. And Saquon starts to run for 160, 180 yards a game. That was Pandora's box. They opened up Pandora's box week 5.
See, I think that's the thing. Everybody thinks that now that we utilize Saquon so much, we've kind of workhorsed him, which you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that too much and then risk injury with a great player like that. And the thing is
True.
about it, let's say Kansas City found a way to shut that down, like we found a way to stop Saquon. Then what? So they can't make that their only game plan. So I want to see them utilize AJ Brown a lot more. Him and Hurts build their relationship and get back to some of those long balls. Smith as well, because we know he'll fly past you and go get them. Even with them utilizing that end around and getting Smith active, again, and just utilizing a few more of their weaponry than just counting on Saquon. Like, we know he's going to get the job done.
I think the problem though that Philly's going to run into when they go against Kansas City again is the fact that Kansas City is probably one of the only other teams, maybe Baltimore would have been one of those teams, but Kansas City has playmakers at every level. So what Philly was able to do with a lot of people was Philly was able to say, okay, you're going to come in and try to stop Saquon. Cool. That means you're going to put 8 guys in the box. You know, you're going to commit to stopping Saquon. So we're going to be able to put AJ over the top. We're going to be able to put Devontae middle routes, post routes, you know, because you don't have the secondary to put everybody out on an island. Kansas City does. You know,
Yeah.
Murphy is, you know, they have the guys to go out there and say, okay, this we fitting to play with you, you know. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And Philly is getting ready, even though that offensive line is good, it looks like it's beat up. Now we got 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, right? But how banged up is Dickerson's knee? Because if I remember correctly, Dickerson was their starting right guard or left guard.
Yes. Yes. Because they put
So
what's his name
I
there?
can't remember. I know a lot of
Brain farts. Don't do drugs, kids.
yeah, yeah, right. But and now you got Jurgens who comes in, looks okay, you know, but you could tell Jurgens was hurt. That
Yeah.
Commander's defensive line was getting hands on him and pushing him back. Now you got to go against Chris Jones. You know,
Yeah.
now you got to go against. I mean,
Well,
now you're going
I
against
think
people that
I think the
it's
thing
not going to
is,
be
especially
easy.
with playoffs, especially with playing in playoffs, like you get banged up and you play through it. Like that playoff mentality, they still want to play through it. So like Jurgens came in, he was still hurt, but he played through it. Hurts was still hurt. He took his knee brace off today. You know, he had the left knee brace on early, took it off before the game, played through it.
Oh yeah,
AJ Brown came back. You know, they've been playing banged up a little bit all season. So I think with these 2 weeks off, they get to practice, but at the same time, relax a little bit, get to let some injuries heal a little bit. They might hit the ice baths or the cryogenic chambers. Let some repairs to their body. Get a little bit of rest. That does mean something because when you're playing week after week after week, and especially we talking playoffs, postseason, it's tough. It's no more easy teams. It's the toughest of the toughest. We're going as hard as we can go. You know, this is NFL 2.0 now. We're in the extra league.
and I think Philly needs to because when you got guys like Nick Bolton, Justin Reed, Trent McDuffie, who I was thinking of when I said Murphy, and then again you got Chris Jones, you got Leo Chanel, which the team absolutely loves. They say he's basically a Swiss Army knife. So that Kansas City team it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good game. Again, we're going to give our picks later. But I think a lot of people are hoping that the Eagles just go in there and just run all over them. But the one thing we know is it's so hard to run all over Kansas City for a full game.
Yeah,
Buffalo wasn't
yeah,
even able to do
definitely.
it the full game. They came out in the second
Right.
half and was able to get it done, but they weren't able to get it done in the first half. So we're gonna give our picks on that here in a little bit, but I'm interested. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah,
After the Super Bowl, we run when we get done with the Super Bowl, we run into the offseason. The offseason starts, and where the offseason starts, we all know is with free agency and then the NFL combine. Okay. The draft order is as such, right? And we're going to look at the top 10. All right. We're not going to try to run through one because I don't want to try to predict if Philly is going to win the game or not just yet. So we don't know if they're going to pick 32nd or 31st. But of course, sitting in pick number 1, you have the Titans. Okay. So I've talked about it a few times, and now that we have a new GM, Mike Big Mike and Oz, I can't say his last name. He was an assistant with
Big
Kansas
Mike.
City. He's been up and down the ranks of scouting. I'm really excited. We've hired a couple other people today through scouting. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, reports are that Mike is open to trading the number one overall pick, that is what I want. And this is where I think me and you might disagree, which is cool. I don't think Shador or Cam Ward is worth the first overall pick. I don't. I think there's
Yeah,
too many questions and there's too many, don't get me wrong. I get Shador comes from royalty. Deion Sanders, NFL royalty. I understand that. But you played at Jackson State. You won at Jackson State. Good job. Hey, good job. But then you go to Colorado and you kind of get humbled a little bit.
yeah.
You're playing real talent. Not that the kids at Jackson State aren't players, but when you step into that Power Five conference in college, everything changes. He's got the attitude, he's got the confidence, but I question if he's first overall good.
Well,
Is
I
he
say,
is he an
it,
organizational changer?
I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, he's good, and he's a Sander. That okay. I feel like anytime a player, in sports is living off of their father's name, you're not your dad. You know what I'm saying? I feel the same way about Bronny James. I feel like that about Michael Jordan's kids. I don't care who you are. You're not your dad. You didn't put in the work. Like and half of the reason why you even got to the point where your name is even being mentioned is just because of who your dad was. If Shador Sanders was playing the same way he was at Jackson State without Deion Sanders being there, it really wouldn't have been that much of a ruckus. And would he even have the opportunity to go to Colorado and things like that? So, yeah, I don't really see him being the first round pick. And, Deion doesn't want him to go to certain teams anyway. So they kind of playing around with
Which
that. But
I don't like. I don't like already.
and that goes
And
back
let me
into
be the
that to
first one
that
to say
father
this.
privilege.
It's a father privilege thing, and I want people to understand this with this situation. I wasn't a fan when Archie did it with Eli. Okay. I don't like this. I don't like when you try to persuade other teams to draft you or trade the pick or whatever. You are getting drafted into the NFL. Do you know how, I
Yeah,
don't think people realize how small the percentage of people that get drafted into the NFL, not just drafted, but first round drafted. So
right.
I understand wanting to protect your son. I get that, right? He knows what a dysfunctional organization looks like, and he know how damning that can be to a player. But isn't that a part of the process? Isn't that what makes you great? Peyton Manning turning around the Colts, Tom Brady turning around the Patriots, Steve Young following in the footsteps of Montana, Elway turning around Denver, Marino turning around Miami. Isn't that what makes guys
Yeah, because it's
legends?
super easy to step into an organization that's already got everything put together and everything just set up for you to just come in and look like you're great because everything around you is great. But put Shador, you know what I'm saying? Put him in the same position as Jaden Daniels. Would he be able to do with
Yeah,
Washington what Jaden Daniels did this year?
exactly.
Can he come in as a
Does he?
rookie and take a team to the division championship?
And I mean, now I will say, going back to Tennessee having the first overall. I was very impressed with the things that were said about Shador. I want to state I don't think Shador is a bad player, right?
No, not at
I'm
all.
just looking at the team that I'm looking at, and I'm saying, okay, we still have a guy in Will Levis who obviously the front office isn't sure what to think of yet. He's been in a different system damn near every year for the last 3 or 4 years. The last 2 years in Kentucky, two different offensive coordinators. Offensive coordinator he has last year is now different from the one he has this year. So that's hard for a young guy, especially a guy that needs to build some of the talent as far as reading defenses, timing, accuracy. We all know Will Levis has an arm. We know he's got one of the strongest arms in the league. But when you look at the rest of the team, our running back is set. We need some help at wide receiver. Our offensive line, hopefully with free agency and other picks, will come together. Our defense looks good. So Shador could be coming into a good situation. But personally, right? And this is what I would like to see is, and I've said it before, I would like to see Tennessee trade out of that number one slot to somewhere between 2 and 6, preferably to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is sitting at 6. You trade the number one pick to Las Vegas for a package that includes Max Crosby. And you bring Max Crosby, one of the best defensive ends in the league, to Tennessee, and you pair it with a second and a third rounder, and then you go ahead and you pick Abdul Carter, a phenomenal defensive end out of Penn State. And now you'll have Abdul Carter, Sweat, who was an all-rookie first team, Jeffrey Simmons, who's top 3 interior defensive lineman in the league, and then Max Crosby, top 5, top 6 defensive end rusher in the league. Now you have the best defensive line in football, hands down.
So that's
And
what you
then
think y'all need some defense.
You said what?
So y'all need some defense.
It's not that we need defense. It's just when you have a quarterback or an offense that's struggling to score points, how do you still win games? Keep the other team from scoring points.
That part true.
You know,
Definitely.
so you got
But you gotta score
L'Jarius
too, though.
Sneed. You got to score, absolutely. And I think a lot of that is going to, we got Calvin Ridley, who came on real good at the end of the year. Tony Pollard was really good out of the backfield. Tajay Spears added from the backfield. Tyler Boyd did well. Nakina Westbrook Ikea, fucking phenomenal. I love that dude. I want us to sign him. So trade down. Get a cornerstone piece like Max Crosby, and then pick elsewhere. So that, to me, that's what makes sense, especially because after that, you got Cleveland. Cleveland should go quarterback. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I get Travis Hunter is there, right? Travis Hunter is going to be a generational talent, but you got the Watson debacle that's just horrible. It's atrocious.
How many quarterbacks did they go
I
through
think
this year?
they started with Watson, and then Watson ruptured his Achilles. Then they brought in Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston played well for a little bit. And then they brought in, I don't know the other dude's name. And then Zappy. I think Zappy. So I think they went through 4. I think they did 4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Four quarterbacks.
So that's not a recipe
like,
for success.
Not at all. It's like
so
when you got
you
got the one person that supposed to be the leader of the team, and how can you do that when the leader keeps changing up? Can't lead them nowhere.
Exactly. So Cleveland should go quarterback, but who knows? Then you got New York, the Giants. The Giants are absolutely going quarterback at 3. There's no question whether it's Shador or Cam Ward. I don't think it matters. So for whatever reason, people have Jalen Milroe.
What were the teams that Deion said he didn't want Shador to go to? What were the teams that he said he didn't want Shador to go to?
I do not remember. I want to say Cleveland
New York
was one of them.
I was thinking
I don't remember.
New York was one of them. I can't remember either, though. I do remember them mentioning something about it.
Well, you've also seen it, too, that there's been such a switch from Deion and Shador that they have gone away from that. Certain teams can't draft him. Now Shador is saying he's just going to be happy to get drafted wherever he gets drafted. Because I think the league is tired of that. You can't position teams.
As it should.
So, exactly. So I think New York goes quarterback. Like I said, whoever's left, whether it's, Shador or Cam Ward out of Miami. Then you got New England. New England could be one of those situations where if things get traded around, Travis Hunter could possibly fall to 4 and go to New England. If it does, I think that's a massive steal for New England. I could also see New England going Abdul Carter, the defensive end out of Penn State.
Yeah.
So that is a big possibility. I also know that you have guys like I can't pronounce his first name, but McLean, wide receiver out of Arizona, could go to New England. And then, of course, you got the big tackle out of LSU, Will Campbell, who could also go as well. And that's, I mean, New England's got a few different needs. And then, I mean, then you go to a team for me that is just, I don't know what they're going to do, and that's Jacksonville. So
Yeah.
Jacksonville made a horrible decision, in my opinion, signing Trevor Lawrence to a $255 million contract when he had done nothing to
Nothing.
deserve it,
I
to the
always call him
point where
Sunshine, man.
he
You
do look
remember the
like
movie? You remember the movie? Remember the
sunshine.
Titans? He looks like Sunshine. I always call him Sunshine. And I'm like, man, they paid
So
Sunshine
sunshine,
250 million. What'd he do?
bruh, for what?
Nothing.
What'd he do? I
He
don't.
hasn't
So I
proven
don't. I know a
nothing.
lot of people. Do you know last year at the end of his year, when they compared his numbers to another quarterback's numbers, guess who that quarterback was? I don't know if you saw this graphic. They got put up after he signed that contract in the offseason.
It better not be like no Elway or nothing.
Gardner Minshew. That's how bad Trevor Lawrence is. He has played comparatively to Gardner Minshew, and he got $255 million. Bro, if that's the case, like, I mean,
I need to get back in the
what are
league
we
because they can
doing?
compare me to who can they compare me to? Shoot. What's the guy name? What's the third string
Which one
dude
you looking for?
for I'm looking
On
for
the
a
third
third
string.
string quarterback. Shoot, I know I play good as one of them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
He
what
said
Gardner
you could
Minshew
compare me to
basically
Robert
is.
Griffin III when he was hurt.
Yeah, man, I'm telling
Right?
you.
It's
Compare me to Watson with
$255
the
million
Achilles
dollars.
injury.
Crazy. Right? Right?
Yeah.
You know, and then after Jacksonville, depending on what they do, they could also go corner. If they go corner, again, you got Willie Johnson out of Michigan. He's one of the top-rated cornerbacks in the
Willie
league. He
Johnson.
could, really help out that secondary with Jacksonville. And then you get into Vegas. This is where the quarterback situation gets interesting. If Vegas doesn't trade up into the first round, let's just run through a scenario in my head where Tennessee doesn't trade. Tennessee goes Shador. I would rather see them draft Shador than Cam Ward. I think Sanders is far more NFL ready than Ward is. So
Yeah.
that means that you're going to get Cam Ward to New York because you'll say, okay, Cleveland's going to take the best player available, which is going to be Travis Hunter. And then you go New England. New England's obviously not drafting a quarterback. They just drafted Drake May. Let's say they want to protect Drake May and they go Campbell, LSU tackle. Then you go Jacksonville. They'll go Johnson out of Michigan. And then you look at Vegas. Like I said, it's 6. I think Vegas would actually jump and draft higher than they should and go Jalen Milroe, which I don't think they should do. Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe's coming out. I do not think he is ready for the NFL. I know a lot of Alabama fans here in Birmingham that do not think he is ready for the NFL. And because of how bad they need a quarterback, they could do something like that. So
Well, we saw what happened
I
with
think
Bryce Young and
Vegas
the
could
Panthers.
find themselves. Hey, no, but here's my thing with Bryce Young, right? I dogged Bryce Young. I dogged him. I said he wasn't an NFL quarterback. I said he wasn't ready. I talked so much shit. When I tell you I had to eat my damn words because that dude took his benching like a man. He went back. He got better. He said, I am an NFL quarterback, and I had to shut the hell up. That dude is going to be so good, I think, next year if he continues the trajectory that he is on. And I hope and pray for my people in Charlotte that are Panther fans that front office gets their head out of their ass
and gets him some offensive linemen that can keep him from running around like he's Usain Bolt.
Yeah, he definitely
I,
needs some protection back there, man. But I mean, like you
He's
said,
got
that benching,
Carolina's got one of the worst offensive lines.
yeah, that benching did something to him. But I mean, that just coming in. Period. If he was to come in and not be the starting quarterback and be benched for half the season and learn the NFL, because he doesn't need to learn football anymore. He needs to learn the NFL. It's a big difference once they cross that threshold from NCAA over to NFL, and that adjustment that needs to take place. So with him coming in, starting the season, kind of terrible, being benched, and then having to correct his mistakes, see where he went. I think it would have been the same thing if he would have came in not starting and just kind of sat and learned a little bit. But at the same time, I think it lit a fire in his ass too.
That's what I think happened. I think that he realized, hey, this is a grown man league. Okay,
Right.
I was a great quarterback at Alabama. I was picked number 1 overall, but that doesn't mean that guarantees me success. I got to go out and do it. I got to go out and put it in. And the fact that I'm a foot shorter, I mean, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but the fact that he's shorter than most quarterbacks, the fact that he has to learn how to read faster, he has to learn how to make decisive throws and throw accurately. But I hope and pray Carolina gets their shit together. So
Yeah, see,
New York,
Carolina fans thought they thought they got the new Cam Newton when they first got him, and he's definitely not Cam Newton. That
I am so tired of the
size
Cam
size
Newton.
matters in that part. Hey,
I'm so
he's
tired of the
definitely the
Cam
best
Newton talk.
quarterback Carolina ever had. Look what he did when he
I
came
mean,
here,
yeah,
though, man.
because the other one's Jake Plummer, like, or Jake Delhomme, not Jake
I,
Plummer, Jake Delhomme. Like,
I mean, you got to even go back as far as Kerry Collins. You know,
yeah, but Kerry
we
Collins
we've had
wasn't.
a lot of people. Carolina's
I
had a
mean,
lot
yeah,
of
but
people, a lot
Tennessee
of
had
quarterbacks
Kerry
come through.
Collins. Yeah, but that's not a
Yeah,
good
but
thing. Like, that's not
exactly.
a good thing.
But it seemed like the Panthers were good at picking people when they were worn out. Like
Yeah,
I
I
don't know if
mean,
that's just a Charlotte thing or what, because the Hornets do the same thing. They do the same thing. Like it'll be a great star player, then he gets worn out and ends up on the Hornets.
the Hornets' problem.
What's that?
So we'll say that for the NBA. We'll say that for the NBA because
Yeah, we're gonna get into
the
that.
Hornets. But after Vegas, right? You got the Jets. The Jets are drafting 7th. I don't care what anybody says. They need a quarterback. I'm done with Aaron Rodgers. I'm
Yeah,
over with
he's
him.
washed.
I'm over it. He's a liability to his teams. He is not as good as he once was. So I think that they go quarterback. At least that would be my decision, or what I would think. So I don't know if they want to jump high enough if Milroe isn't there. You got Ewings from Texas, you got Howard from Ohio State, you got Gabriel from Oregon. I mean, there are some other good quarterbacks that are going to be coming out, but do the Jets want to jump high enough? After the
They
Jets,
better.
the top 10 round out, the top
They
10
better.
rounds out with Carolina, New Orleans, and Chicago. We just talked about Carolina. Just get them something. Get them something, but
They definitely need an O line.
they need some wide receivers too. They need somebody for him to throw the damn ball to, because Hubbard can't do everything by himself.
No.
And Xavier Leggett, I think I thought he had a very good year as a wide receiver coming out of South Carolina. Real big, strong, fast guy, can get up there and get the 50-50 balls. But when it's just him, and they went through 2 or 3 different quarterbacks this year, offensive line issues. He had some injury problems, so they could go wide receiver to get somebody to help him. Maybe tight end. You do have Taylor, the tight end out of Tennessee, which is Zach Taylor's son, actually. So he could be potentially somebody that they go after. You also have Tyler Warren, real good tight end out of Penn State. So there's obviously a few different people that they could go after. New Orleans, that organization is just, I don't know what they're doing. And then Chicago needs to get an offensive line to protect Caleb Williams. So if you look at it today and say, okay, at the worst case scenario, Philly loses the Super Bowl and they pick 31st, right? What position do you think your Eagles need to go after to help make the team better next year?
I would like to see. It's kind of. I think we need somebody on the O line to give Jalen Hurts a little bit more protection, but at the same time, I don't know. I think I might like to see somebody in the secondary on defense to kind of help Slay on that other side or something, because Philly's kind of been getting beat too much on long balls. That it's like, man, come on, we're the Eagles. We at one point the number one teams that never want to throw on us. You were too afraid of an interception to throw on the Eagles, and now like we get tried a lot. They get tried a lot, and Darius Slay, he's been with the franchise
He's
for a
getting
little
older.
minute now. Yeah, he's getting older, so I would like to see somebody that he can at least play with and, train and work with, to where when he's out of there, they're still there, you know what I'm saying, to kind of replace him and keep that defense alive.
So there's a player who unfortunately I know will not be there for you guys late in that first round, but Malik Starks, safety out of Georgia. All right. He very aggressive, hard hitter. I think he would fit what Philly wants to do. I think he would fit in the back with Cooper DeJean and Blankenship. I think that would be a good fit. But I also think that it wouldn't hurt them to go maybe edge, if you could get a guy like James Pierce Jr., again, not going to be there. These are guys that are obviously going to be drafted later. I mean, if I'm looking at somebody down the line a little, you could go maybe TJ Sanders out of South Carolina, Sherman Stewart out of Texas A&M. These are big guys too, 6'6", 290. Jack Sawyer, edge out of Ohio State, who basically won the game for Ohio State against Texas. He could be available at 31. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where the NFL goes, or not the NFL, but where teams go in the draft and what positions they try to pick up. But let us know in the comments here on YouTube, comment in TikTok, on Instagram. Let us know who you rock with, what team you rock with. Let us know who you think that your team will draft and who you want them to draft. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with the NBA.
Cheers.
Small businesses. Hey, guys, if you own a small business, if you haven't yet, make sure to email the show. Please send us the name of your business, what services you provide, where you're located. We are looking to give all small businesses free advertisement on the show. We'll write you a 30-second ad. All we ask is that you push the show, and we'll push you. Hopefully, we can all make it to the top. So, you got any new music coming out, or are you?
I actually do, man. I've been going through some rebranding. It's been Tony Ford for so long, but you remember it was Ghost Money.
Ghost Money, baby. I had the Ghost on my car.
Yeah.
On the Charger.
Right. So I just branding and everything, rebranding. I've been trying to go back, do the name change, go back to Ghost Money. Ghost Money $1 Million Scarecrow. And that has, I do feel like I used to make a different type of music. Like, I'm not going to say Ghost Money was more of like a fictitious character. It's just more creative to me. It's almost like I got schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder. They almost seem like, it seems like whatever I'm going by, the music is a little bit different. So yeah, I've been back in the Ghost Money creative space, doing a little bit more R&B, and a little more singing than I was before. But I used to do that before, and then I kind of stopped. So I'm back
if you're gonna
on
do
it now,
R&B,
you know what I'm saying?
okay, I better catch you singing in the rain. You better bring back singing in the rain, okay?
Hey, yeah,
That's
you
when
know what I'm
R&B
saying?
was
All black
alive.
singing in the all of that, man. You know. But
Bruh,
yeah, I
I'm
definitely
I'm
been working.
I'm telling you.
I actually I was looking through the files to send over the music, and I found a whole mixtape that I never released. So probably gonna just throw that out there just
Hey,
for the heck of it. Just some little mixtape tracks,
you
but
know,
yeah, man, I'm definitely trying to get back to work.
and just so y'all know, some of the music that y'all have heard so far on the show that is from our guy right here, Tony Ford, aka Ghost Money, Tony Ford from the Ford. Make sure y'all are checking out his music.
Yes,
We're gonna
sir.
have a link for y'all at the end. Make sure to go support. You know, we need another Charlotte rapper that's actually pretty good. You know, we got one, but we need another one, and that's your boy Tony Ford.
Yeah, yeah, you know, let a native fella
So
10 in that
we
thing.
went through NFL, right? NBA is in full effect, okay? But we haven't had a whole lot of chance to touch on the NBA because we've been so busy with the NFL, with college football, everything like that. I know you're an NBA dude, right? But for the life of me, I cannot remember what team you rocked with. Who is your team? I cannot remember.
To be honest, I'm really not too big on basketball because I didn't play basketball, so I was never like really into NBA. Only time I
Maybe it was
really
just
watch
betting.
NBA is yeah playoffs. You know what I'm saying? When we start betting, I definitely I think I'm more of
We bet
I
a
pick
lot
my
on
teams like
basketball
that.
back in the day.
Yeah,
Okay.
I still bet more on basketball, but as far as teams though, I really kind of like play, but I'm a home guy, so Hornets all day. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with the Hornets all day.
So okay. I'm glad you brought up the Hornets. Okay. So I'm looking at it right now. The Hornets are sitting at 12-30, which sounds about right for the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah,
This organization is so funny to me because you would think an organization owned by some people say is the greatest of all time, and he has such an imprint on the team. You would think the team would be good, but what I've learned from my time living in Charlotte and watching basketball over the few years, Michael Jordan is a horrible judge of talent. Like he should never have anything to do with building a roster ever.
I agree with you, man. Like I wonder what he's doing a lot of the times, and like I said earlier, it seems like the Hornets used to get somebody after they were washed up. Like we got Dwight Howard after I forgot where he came from, but it was like, all right, he's not the same Dwight Howard he was. You know what I'm saying? He's playing there. Bless you, brother.
Appreciate
Who else
appreciate
did
you,
we get
appreciate you.
when they were pretty washed up?
That was I was washed up.
Uh,
I would say Hayward.
Lance
Now Hay
Stevenson. We got him when he was washed up. like,
Well,
uh,
you got Lance Stevenson when he was still blowing in people's ears, man. Like that
yeah,
dude.
exactly. Like he blowing in people's ears stuff, man. And then, wasn't it Dwight Howard ear he blew into?
Nah, he
What was
blew
that?
in the
Whose ear did he blow?
LeBron's ear. He blew, yeah,
Okay, okay, yeah,
he blew in the LeBron's ear.
yeah.
I
But
mean, that's just an organization that I look at, and they just can't. I mean, even when
I
they
will
get a
say
guy like Ball, and
that's what I was about to say. LaMelo Ball is the first time I've seen them get a franchise player that, like, all right, look, this is going to be a star that we raise. We're going to raise this star. Like, I hate that Steph Curry didn't come here. Wish he would have been here to play for the hometown. Um, but that seems to be the Hornets thing too. Like when they had the chance to get a player that could potentially bring that star power here and that they could build around, they let them go. Even far back to the Kobe. Kobe just didn't want to play here, but that goes all the way back to Kobe Bryant before the Hornets even left
I
here.
was gonna say, did he even
Nah, Kobe did not. Yeah, he did.
did he even play a season there?
No, he didn't.
Got
Like
drafted and
he
then
got
traded,
drafted and
right?
traded. Yeah, because Kobe would
So
have
I mean,
been.
that's the
I
thing.
want to say he was number 13.
I think so. Yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
when you look at a team. I mean, Lamelo Ball, he's averaging basically 29 points a game. 7.5 assists. But other than that, the only other guy that's really doing anything offensively is Miles Bridges. And it's not even like he's doing a whole lot. The team itself is averaging 107 points a game. So it's not like they're jumping off of the page. And it just seems like they're always there. They're always in this like just mediocre to bad team. And no matter what
Yeah,
the front office does, they can't fix it.
yeah, man. We got to get some more big guys too. They
Our
need
team
that.
just needs
They need that one big
that
man.
whole
You know,
team
because
needs help.
Melo can't do it by himself. Melo definitely
No,
can't do it by
and I
himself.
mean, when you look at the rest of the Eastern Conference, I mean, you got Cleveland who's just playing lights out. I mean,
Stacked.
they're 36-9. Like that is crazy. I would never have thought that Cleveland was going to come in at the beginning of the year. I mean, their team has just really blown up. I mean, Donovan Mitchell has done everything and everything for that organization. And, then you got Darius Garland, who, is finally coming into his own after a few years. Jared Allen has just been phenomenal on defense. I mean, 10 rebounds a game. You got Mitchell averaging almost 2 steals a game. I mean, Mitchell's averaging 24 points. That team is just ridiculous. So I didn't expect that. And then you look at the rest of the Eastern Conference, you got, Boston 32-14. The Knicks still playing good basketball at 30-16. And then there's like this weird drop off from 3 to 4. And then you got Milwaukee, Indiana, and Detroit. And then your play-ins are the Magic, the Heat, the Hawks, the Bulls.
Yeah.
So
Don't forget Sixers,
I
man.
think, I think Chicago, I think Charlotte just finds themselves in a situation where even if they were kind of good, the Eastern Conference looks a lot stronger than it's looked in a while. It's a little top heavy,
Yeah.
but it looks a lot better than it has in recent years.
Yeah, and the West look like it's falling off. The West is falling.
I mean, I don't know if it's fallen or if we're getting a changing of the guard. You got Golden State, that was always a staple at the top. The San Antonio Spurs, a staple at the top. Then you had the Nuggets, a staple at the top. And now you're starting to see these teams like OKC with these younger players. Houston, younger players. Memphis, younger players. I mean, and then you got, and that's where you see those top 3 right there. I mean, I like Memphis. I'm not a Grizzlies fan, but I was really excited when Zach Edey got drafted to Memphis. I thought he was going to go phenomenal with Ja Morant, and he has.
Yeah.
And then when you got teams like OKC that, again, kind of exploded onto the scene this year. And, I mean, you got SGA who didn't explode onto the scene. We all knew who he was. That's MVP candidate right now, averaging 32 points a game, 6 assists, shooting at a 53% clip, which is just crazy. So I don't know if the West is falling off or if it's just we're not used to these teams. But, I mean, you do have the Lakers in 5th place. They've been playing a lot better. LeBron and AD have been playing well. Their role players with Revis and other guys have really been getting it together. The Clippers are starting to come around. The Timberwolves are putting it together. And then you got Dallas that's, playing okay
the
without,
Mavs, man. Yeah.
And they're playing without Luka,
Right.
So he's been out since like Christmas or something like that, which is crazy. But even though if you were going to bet on it, right? Actually, I'll tell you what, we'll leave. I'm going to ask you this question in our pick'em section, and I want to know what you think on this one. So we'll be getting more into the NBA, especially as it gets going and then with football season ending. But what I want to know is drop a comment and let me know what sports y'all want us to cover next. Y'all want us to do boxing, UFC. I love y'all, but I'm not NASCAR Caucasian. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
That's all right. I'll take
I
over.
know. I can't deal with you.
Y'all want some NHL?
So, but yeah,
We
let
need
us
some
know.
NHL.
You know something? I said I was gonna cover the NHL too, and
Hey,
I don't. I mean, it's dope. Hockey's dope. Don't get me wrong.
It be getting excited sometimes, man. It get excited sometimes. I watch a
What?
little bit here and there.
Where's our producer? Where's our producer, man? I need Louis to come in and tell us what kind of sports they be
What?
doing out there in California.
Same shit, man. I don't know.
Man, you know y'all be doing like professional lawn dart throwing or
I don't know. I don't be
surfing
playing them sports.
competitions.
I ain't doing
Synchronized
that.
swimming and shit.
I mean, of course, a lot of surfing, volleyball. I don't
Man,
know.
tell me why. So the first
Who's
couple
the
of
number
shows we
one
did,
volleyball
right?
player?
Hey, so
Don't ask
Louis
me. I don't
got a
know.
wetsuit hanging up somewhere, and I keep telling him he needs to put that bitch in the back of the on the wall or something so we can see it.
Yeah, he's obsessed with this wetsuit, man. He saw this
Hey,
wetsuit hanging on my door one time, and
Before we know it, he's gonna be
Keep bringing
professional
up this
surfer.
wetsuit,
We're gonna be on here doing the report on Louis
that's the goal, man.
competition.
Yeah,
Look,
y'all gonna be
That's
doing
your
a
goal?
podcast on the
and
beach.
you need to understand the reason I'm obsessed with the
I
wetsuit
mean, not professional, but
is because they don't make a wetsuit in my size. All right, that's why I'm obsessed with
so
it.
you mad?
I'm mad. Is what it is. You know, could you imagine how slim I would look? Look,
Man.
I would I'd wear a wetsuit as like a full body
No.
girdle.
All I can think of,
Right.
I can think of a Despicable
Man,
Me
you in a
character
wetsuit
you
would
look
be
like.
crazy. They make them.
You a
You
fool,
look like a
bro.
Despicable Me character. Something more Austin
Yeah, you're
Powers.
like a super villain.
Hey.
You're like
Look,
a skin tight one.
honey, where's my super suit?
I can see him now. Hey, honey, can you zip me up?
Right?
I'm pretty sure you could get a. You could get a wetsuit that fits.
Oh, I'm
man.
sure. I'm sure because
We're gonna
I
get
don't
two
know.
of them, stitch them together. So
Matter of fact, I'm gonna get you a wetsuit.
I don't
that
know
fits,
the
bro. I'm gonna order
science behind how fat people surf, but I've seen it. I don't know how them boards keep
You
them
just
up.
need a really big board.
It's just
man.
a really big board.
I got a 9-foot
You
board.
need one of them Moana surfboards.
yeah.
I
Get a
can't-
mini boat.
I can't deal with y'all.
Tony Ford, taking way better Ghost Money on this. I had to get my dog Shonda first. You know we go way back. I pull up in a spaceship, and I'm leaning way back. And I'm with my dog like Sherman and Peabody up in the way back. I travel through time in my machine, yeah, I take you way back. I get where I gotta go, do what I gotta do, I'm on my way back. I pull up in a spaceship, and I'm leaning way back. And I'm with my dog like Sherman and Peabody up in the way back. I travel through time in my machine, yeah, I take you way back. I get where I gotta go, do what I gotta do, I'm on my way back. Okay, I'm on my way back. Well, let's take it way back.
Sometimes you gotta take chances to make
It
sacrifices.
takes some money to make some money. I spend some money to get some money. It takes some money to make some money. I spend some money to get some money. It takes some money to make some money. I spend some money to get some money. It takes some money to make some money. I spend some money to get some money. All I ever wanted was some money. I've been on my grind trying to band up. All I ever needed was some money. I've been on my grind trying to band up. All I ever wanted was some money. I've been on my grind trying to band up. All I ever needed was some money. So I've been on my grind trying to band up. Scared money don't make no money. At least that's what somebody told me. But you can't trust niggas these days. Cause most of my enemies used to be homies, so I got it on.
So
Yeah, just stick to a
y'all
boat.
already know every show we have a segment called Ain't No Way. Tony, I know you've watched the show before, but so you know. I don't know if you have one, but if you don't, it's cool. The Ain't No Way segment is where we find a story. I find one. Sometimes Louis will find one. And it is a ridiculous story that we just, when you read it, you're like, ain't no way. Okay? So y'all already know
I
what it
didn't find me
is. We
one,
fitting
but-
to get in. It's cool. This is the Ain't No Way segment. So
Ain't
the
no
story
way.
that I found for y'all today. Okay, I went back to the animals, Louis. All right,
All right,
so
let's see what's up.
this is the
Say you
the
went back to
headline.
the animal.
Elephants can't pursue release because they are not people,
court rules. Okay, so yeah, elephants apparently are not people. If y'all didn't know, I didn't know if y'all knew this or not.
I had no idea. I thought they were
You know what I'm
either.
saying? So, an animal rights group brought a lawsuit on behalf of 5 elephants from the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo in Colorado Springs in a move that the zoo said abused court systems. First off, I want to say that that zoo is absolutely fucking right. Okay, why? Like, do we not have other shit that we gotta try to figure out that we have to?
What website did you find this story on? Who reported
So,
on this?
of course, I got this on Sky News.
Who got paid to report on
Okay,
this?
this story was released on the 22nd of this month. And what we're looking in is a court has ruled that a court has ruled that 5 elephants being held in the Colorado Zoo do not have the legal right to pursue their release because they are not humans. So I'm assuming a group like PETA thought that they could persuade a court to. So my question is, what would have happened if the courts had been like, yeah, they could pursue their release? Would you have just let them walk right the hell out the front door of the zoo? Like,
Well, no, they gotta. Well, I guess
Take
what's
them
the
back home.
definition of
They
pursue,
gotta
right?
take them back home wherever they from.
if they pursue their freedom and they get it, then they free.
I mean, yeah.
Like, could you imagine being in Colorado
Yeah.
Springs and 5 big ass elephants just come walking down the damn street?
What the fuck was that? Like, yeah. Hey man, and
I'm sure there's a
ele-
news story about that happening somewhere.
elephants is wild
I'm
too,
just-
man. You know how they memory is, so they might go if the zoo was doing something wrong to them, man. They might run back up in there and do something to the zoo.
They might run straight to all the workers and just
Okay, because did you
trample
since
them
we
to
in the
death.
ain't no way, I'm pretty sure you've seen this before. But did you see the lady? Since we're on the elephants, you see the lady that was a poacher, and she killed the elephant's baby, and the elephant remembered her, stalked her to her house, killed her, and then they had a funeral for the lady. The elephant then went to the lady's funeral and trampled her dead body at the funeral.
Ain't no way. No,
On that
that is
type-
there's
on that type
there's
time.
no way.
Yeah, that's
There's
a
no
true
way
story,
that that's
man.
true.
Y'all go look it up. Yeah,
There's-
go look it up right
There's
now. Look, I'm telling you. You thought I was
It's true.
playing.
It's true. It happened.
You thought I was playing.
2022.
Yo,
Yeah, so that's the
elephant
ain't
kills
no way,
woman,
man.
Oh, that's
returns to her
crazy.
funeral to attack.
A
Yo,
68,
That was some on site.
68. She was 68 years old. That's messed up.
Yeah.
yo, that elephant. You
Hey,
right?
but
That
she-
elephant
she-
was like on site.
Oh my
yo,
God.
on site.
She killed the baby. She killed the elephant's baby though.
I mean, they do
Family
say that
brought her
elephants
home
have
for
like.
her funeral preparations. This is insane. It really went to the.
But
to the
wait,
funeral?
hold on,
Yeah.
wait. All right, I have so many questions. Like, where did this happen?
In
What?
India or somewhere.
It says while there is no confirmation on the elephant's motive, many speculate that the woman was part of a poacher group. Oh, so that's just speculation. She might have just been an old 70, 68-year-old woman.
Hey, for it to be on site to the point where I come kill you, and then once you dead, they try to respect you and have a funeral, and I say, hell no. Boom. Like, they got the video. Play the video.
Oh.
Pull up the video. Listen.
But how
Play
did
the video with her.
how-
With,
but
the,
how
with
did-
the
no.
elephant busting up in the
how
funeral.
did the
Hold
elephant?
up.
How did the elephant know where the funeral was at? Like, did somebody bring
know they
the
can
elephant
smell.
to the funeral?
That's the crazy part.
They can,
It might not be a big village, you know. It might have been like
But
down the
again,
And they
street.
have
where are they
excellent
at with
memory.
this elephant? Like, okay, the elephant wakes up and goes, all right, I gotta go fuck this.
Yeah,
I gotta
I
fuck
heard-
this funeral
I
up.
heard that they'll remember you. They'll recognize somebody like 30 years
Okay,
Elephants
cool.
ago.
They recognize
they
her.
don't
She's in a
forget. That's what
casket.
They say they don't forget.
Yeah.
She still
How-
smells the same.
but damn, what if he was wrong? He could have ruined somebody's funeral. Like that elephant is.
I'm pretty. He picked up. She. It was a female elephant, I believe. She picked up the scent, and yeah, went after that.
That's
But
wild.
yeah,
That's I
ain't no
cannot
way.
believe that's
Right.
real.
He got the best ain't no way story.
Yo, that was the best ain't
Yeah.
no way story. That is
That
insane.
happened, man.
I'm trying to
Definitely
pull
have
up
it.
this video. Hold up.
Oh, you trying to pull a video up? So
Yeah,
just so
man.
y'all know, to our viewers and to our listeners, okay, this is probably what y'all can expect more of. Okay, where like this nonsense where we find stories or our guests know stories about serial killing elephants, which is just ridiculous. Like that is the most
Dumbo goes wild.
ridiculous. Yo, Dumbo, yeah, Dumbo out here stalking.
Is this it?
Damn, Dumbo said, "Where my ops at?" I'm
Oh, so
like,
they
dude,
were
what are we
Right.
deep though.
doing?
They were deep though. They were like
All
five,
right,
six
what do
elephants,
we
probably
got
more.
here? Oh, they came
Yo,
gang
they deep as
gangsta.
fuck.
Now,
Yo, he
I
brought
don't
the
know if
whole hood
is
out.
this the same
That's
one?
crazy. No, I don't
Oh,
know. This
Mo,
looks like
that's
some random video.
okay, because that's a shit
False
ton of
alarm.
elephants.
I don't know. I can't find it.
Lou, you got? Do you have one? Because this is just this is
I
ridiculous.
don't have one, so I'm glad Tony did.
Yeah,
'Cause I have.
I guys, again, if y'all haven't already, if you haven't heard it already, if you have an ain't no way story and you want us to share it here on the show, and we do, email it to the show. And if we share it, we will send you the first official Ain't No Way hoodie. It'll have the Ain't No Way logo on the back, and it will have a gold 001 on the front, and that'll let us know that you were the first one. Again, send us your stories to the email. Let us know. And y'all, watch out for the elephants. that
Watch
ain't
out
no way, bro.
for the elephant to address the elephant in the room.
Whoa.
The elephant bounced in and said, "To address the lady in the room, I'm here to stomp your
Right?
ass."
Oh my God. That is ain't no
Dang, that's crazy.
way. All right, y'all. So we are getting to the end of the show, and what we are gonna do, we have some picks, or we have a pick. We're gonna leave it specifically to the Super Bowl so we can talk about that pick. And then I do want to hear from Tony Ford himself, who he thinks is going to win the NBA championship here about midway through. We haven't quite got there, but we are there. So go ahead and give us your obvious damn pick of who you think is gonna win the Super Bowl.
Well, let's see. Being the way that things have played out, I think I'm going with the bird game, baby. You know what I'm saying? I called it from the beginning of the year. I said my Eagles was going, and it is what it is. I've been put
Shocker.
my pick in for the Eagles, and I even put the pick in that they were going to play against the Chiefs and win. So yeah,
Shocker.
I was already on top of that, and you say I'm a conspiracy theorist or whatever. We're gonna have ghost stories on here because I've been said it. I've been said it. It's
Here we
been
go,
floating
y'all.
around out here on the internet ever since
Here we
the
go.
Super Bowl logo came out, and I saw that red, yellow, and green. I said, "Oh, we
That's
got a Chiefs
ridiculous.
Eagles rematch." Hey, it turned out to be right.
Ridiculous.
It turned
I
out to
mean,
be
it does.
right.
It is
Thank y'all for writing
constantly
the script
right
for us
every
this
year.
year.
Oh my God. So I love you, brother, but I'm taking the Chiefs, big dog. Give me Patty McHolmes. You know why? Because they can't be stopped. If you look at Patrick Mahomes and what he's done, and the fact that Travis Kelce is still putting up clips the way he's putting it up, we talked about it earlier. Xavier Worthy, you got Kareem Hunt running like a dog. Pachenko's come back and running like a dog. You got Hollywood Brown came back. I think offensively, it's just going to be too much, and the difference between what Philly did tonight and what they're going to go against Super Bowl Sunday is, although Jaden Daniels is phenomenal, Patrick Mahomes is no Jaden Daniels. This is a dude who you think you got him down and he ain't down. You think you sacked him, but nah, he just threw the ball for 40 yards and a touchdown right on your dome piece.
Yeah. See, I'm a little worried about that because I know Philly has trouble protecting that middle, and with Kelsey, being the phenomenal tight end that he's is, like that's our biggest threat crossing the middle, and I want to see Philadelphia's line give Hurts a lot of protection. but I want to see Hurts getting rid of the ball. It can't be any holding the ball 4 seconds, 5 seconds anymore. He's been doing a lot of that this season, and it's costing. 3 seconds or less, he needs to be getting rid of the ball, which is one reason why Saquon Barkley has been, our main attack to get the ball out of Hurts' hands as quickly as possible. But yeah, he's going to definitely have to do that to win. And yeah, that defense is going to definitely have to step up because we also know that Patrick Mahomes will run out of the pocket and scramble for his yardage too. So we got to contain that. But I think it's going to be a pretty good matchup.
I think it'll be.
Like I said, everybody didn't want to see it because they're so tired of seeing the Chiefs and anybody but the Chiefs. It's crazy how when you're not winning, they want to see you win, and then when you start winning too much, they start wanting you to lose. Unless it's your team, because I wouldn't care if my team was winning. But
that's high.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to see the Chiefs lose this year, especially me. Because we deserved that last time. Kind of hurt me. So it's get back time now. It's bird game, baby. I hope they got their bow and arrows ready this year. We flying higher.
So we got Tony Ford going with the Philadelphia Eagles. You got your host, your boy here, going with the Kansas City Chiefs. Digital Doctor, I know you don't know much, but give us a pick, big dog. Who you want? You want Philly or you want Kansas City?
What?
Exactly. This is just a sure A. Just so y'all know, this would be like him walking into a room with no lights and swinging and hoping he hits somebody. Okay.
It's like me walking to a room talking about doing brain surgery.
There you go. So give it just what you Eagles or
somebody
Chiefs?
About to die.
Which one you like?
I'm fucking with the Eagles.
Fucking with the Eagles.
Right.
Just so y'all know, that's how it was in Charlotte too. It was them two versus me. Every time an idea came up,
sound like,
all right, so
you live, man. They used to team
Tony,
up on me.
If you had to bet on somebody right now, you had to put a future bet on an NBA team. Give me who you got. Who you taking to win the NBA championship right here, right now? $100 on it.
Well, it's funny, you said that, and we all know it takes some money to make some money. So I already put a little money on a ticket, you know what I'm saying, to where I picked the college football national champion. I picked Ohio State for that. I picked the Eagles for the Super Bowl. And this is one ticket, so, this thing is still going. And I got the Dallas Mavericks to take it all for the NBA championship.
The Dallas Mavericks. Well, y'all heard it first here. If the Dallas Mavericks happen to go on and win the NBA championship, your boy Tony Ford from the Ford said it here first. Hey, guys, listen, we love and appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all so much for all the love and support y'all have shown. Tony Ford, thank you for joining us here on the Full Blitz podcast. We cannot wait to have you back. And again, if y'all listen to the songs, if y'all like the songs, make sure to go check them out. The link will be at the end. Guys, peace and love.
Boot up 4.
Niggas be talking a lot, but I don't really care what they say. Fuck your opinion, my nigga, I don't really care what you think. I stand alone in the field all day. 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 24/7, 365, I'm on my job. I'm in the field, me and my pole, I stick to my gun. 10 toes down, never seen me running. Been concrete like the cement, honey. Bees in the trap, but I'm more like a hornet. Fiend by the money, you ain't talking about nothing. Keep it 100, I keep it a G. None of these little niggas fucking with me. And I know they hate that I made it without them. But I had to leave from the family tree. All in they feelings, yeah, I guess you mad. Acting like bitches, guess you on your rag. I show no emotion, cause I'm just too focused on getting this money and chasing a bag. A dream and a dollar is all that I had. I took and I flipped it, my mind on a billion. My mouthpiece a million and I want it cash. 100s and 50s, I don't want your penny. The heart of a soldier, but like a chameleon. I blend in and act like a normal civilian. When I'm in the building, I get in position to taking advantage and bomb on these niggas. Niggas be talking a lot, but I don't really care what they say. Fuck your opinion, my nigga, I don't really care what you think. I stand alone in the field all day. 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 Niggas be talking a lot, but I don't really care what